Hello there guys, and welcome to another episode of Second Life Electronics. Today we're going to be doing a little quick test video because we've now amassed a couple of the original DMG Game Boys from Japan. I want to see if they work. This one, we can actually see it does definitely need a new screen, but I want to know if the rest of it does work, see if it's worthwhile actually replacing the screen on it, or if it's completely bust. Now these original DMGs Game Boys took 4 AA batteries. Not quite as bad as the Sega Mega Drive, which had not Mega Drive, Sega Game Gear, sorry, which had 6, but still quite a power hungry. So I've got some rechargeable AA batteries. Let's put them in and let's see if they work. Okay, so we're going to start off with the one that the screen looks like it's okay on it. So let's put 4 batteries in there, put the cover on just so they don't all fly out everywhere. And we've got an original Pokemon Yellow. I've forgotten to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Let me just quickly do that. All right. So I just put 4 batteries in it. I've put an original Pokemon Yellow in the back. I can't remember where the power button. Oh yeah, power switch was on the top. And we've got nothing. Nothing coming out of that one at all. These batteries have been on charge, so you know that they are definitely good. But yeah, no signs of life out of that at all. Let's try this other one. Oh, we've got a battery light on this one. But again, no, beyond that, no real physical signs of life. Oh, it's got sound working. But yeah, that display is completely shagged out. Okay, so I wonder if we can combine the two, because the screen on that one seems to be pretty good, but the screen on that one has definitely seen better days. So let's see if we can, between the two, make one solid working Game Boy, and then also see if we can work out what's gone wrong with the other one. So let's do a little bit of research, and then we'll jump back to it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, get this back cover off. Now, according to the guide I'm looking at on iFixit, it is supposed to be tri-wing, but these are clearly just Phillips screws. So I don't know if that means this has been opened up in the past. There's supposed to be 6. Should be tri-wings, but we've got just normal screws. Use the Game Boy game case to secure all the screws so we don't lose them. Screws are quite tight to get undone, but they are coming out. Yes, I didn't know if these are the original screws or not. I say the guide does say they're supposed to be tri-wing, and these are definitely. Focus in on that. That's definitely a Phillips screw. And all 6 are Phillips screws in this. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Do you think these screws have been replaced with just standard Phillips screws? Or do you think this is the original screws that should have been in this console? Maybe Japanese models didn't bother with the tri-wing. I mean, it seemed a bit weird that they did tri-wing everywhere else in the world, but not in Japan. But hey ho, stranger things have definitely been known to happen. Now you see we've now got this front panel connector. What I'm hoping to do is unplug that. I'm hoping I can just swap the front panels over so we don't have to. I mean, if you wanted to just purely replace the screen, what you would then do is remove all of these gold screws. That will then take the board out. You've then got these 3 clips here, which will then allow you to remove the main cover from the screen, and then you'll then have to desolder the screen. Speed and convenience. As we know, this one. Actually, no, that's the known good board. See this? Yeah, see this is also Phillips screws. It definitely makes me think that it's not abnormal. I mean, these have come from different sellers. The chances of 2 different sellers both deciding to open up their Game Boys, I mean, it's not a particularly heard of thing in Japan for them to open up and attempt their own repairs, really. And they are identical looking screws. So I think these are original screws. Definitely much easier with a better screwdriver. I've actually come away from using the official Nintendo screwdriver and seem to have achieved better results. Okay, so again, pull that front panel connector out. So we know this is a potentially good screen, and this is a good motherboard. Let's put that. Good screen. And then let's just get some screws in there, just because we don't want it all falling apart in our hand when we're trying to test. Thank God we didn't have any worries of right to repair back in the day, so you didn't have any of Apple doing their whole, I'll say like Apple do, so should I say, sorry, with their screens. You don't have to code these screens into the console, it's just straight swap. How things should be before companies start getting greedy. And yes, I am definitely looking at you, Apple. It'd be interesting if it works. Oh, blimey. It's all very well having that pot to keep all the screws in, but then if you go and get your hand caught up in it like that, you risk yeeting them all everywhere, which would not have been great. Okay, so we've got the screws in. Let's get batteries in. Pop a battery cover on it, just to stop those batteries coming flying out. Let's pop our game in. Okay, we've got a. So I think that's when it's not picked up the cartridge properly. Might be a bit of dirt in there though. Oh, there we go. It says Nintendo. And there we have it. Okay, so we've got a bit of issues with the down button on this. It's not brilliantly responsive. But that is, let's turn that volume down a little bit. Volume control is working. Contrast is working. A and B are working fine. So it's that D-pad to have a quick look at. So yeah, it's not. Let's see new names. We can test left and right. So yeah, so right and down seem to be a little bit hard to press. So let's throw the game away. Apparently, let's take those batteries back out. Let's revisit our front, the other one. So they seem a lot more positive buttons on this one. So I'm going to say we know this one's going to need opening up to get a new screen fitted anyway. So let's and I've once again forgotten to go on to do not disturb mode. Okay. Let's see how easy it is to get into those buttons. It doesn't look like there's too much in the way of hardware to have to worry about for the Game Boy, which is fantastic news for us. How many screws are there? There seems quite a few. There's 10 all in all. Nope. I'm now being pestered by the dog. Right, so let's carefully get that board lifted up and out. So yeah, you can see the state of the damage to that. So we'd have to desolder this connector here in order to be able to get that actually out. But what I'm interested in is this rubber piece for the buttons. There's loads of dirt inside there. That'll have to be cleaned out. But let's now pop that to the side so we can clearly see that's the one that's got the broken screen. Again, carefully take that front connector back out. No, that's the good Game Boy. Number 5, 6, 11, 8, 9, and 10. Now we can carefully lift that board up and out. And yeah, there we go. It's actually got a broken rubber section. The buttons themselves look fine. So we'll just fit the new rubber in. They all look fine. So let's get this put back together and let's see if that's then improved the down and right buttons. And then we've just got to decide what we're going to do with the other one. I mean, we've got to replace the screen on this other Game Boy anyway. So I'm thinking let's give it an upgrade. Let's give it a backlit screen. First off, wonder what other upgrades we can do to this original Game Boy. What might be worthwhile doing. Again, leave us a comment in the bottom. What would you like to see? What upgrade kit have you seen that you would like to see demonstrated? We'll buy it, we'll install it, and we'll give you a review and let you know if it's worth doing or not. The shuffling is just my wife bringing me coffee, always good. Followed by the dog. Yep, hello Rox. Yep. Licking Daddy's arm is really not conducive to me getting the Game Boy fix, but never mind. You don't have to go by that step if you don't have a Rottweiler of your own. But if you do, you're probably already getting slobbered over anyway. Okay, so double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All 10 screws are back in. Got our known good Game Boy motherboard. Just get that front panel connector plugged back in there. What's that? And then let's get one of these 6 screws in the back put back in. And then it'll be ready for another test. Don't worry, that's not me eating as we're recording. That is again is the Rottweiler. Slap me in your chops, Roxy Roo. You can tell this is a home video, can't you guys? We don't have a proper dedicated space for this, so family background noises will prevail. Got those batteries back. Did I accidentally put the wrong back cover back on? We're getting nothing out of that. Let's have a look. We've got absolutely nothing out of that, and that's what we were getting with the other motherboard. So maybe I got distracted and accidentally put the wrong motherboard in. rear shell on this build. On that one in a minute. I'm just going to put two screws in for now, just so we can have a quick look. No, so now they're both doing the same. Okay. So let's try and put this back in. I have seen that there's a few parts on the board where they're just spring held together. Maybe we do need to have all of the screws in just to make sure that it's held fully in the right place. Okay, back to the batteries. Okay, right, that's now powering back up again, so let's put the game back in. Right, it's not quite loaded just yet. A bit of clean up, try again. That's now firing up. Up and down is working fine. So down a little bit. Let's see if we can just get to the point we've got the keyboard. New name. Okay, up and down is working fine. What I want to do is just check start and select now. Let's just give them any old name. Okay, so start is, it's not great, but it is there. But it's old rubber again, so it might just need a new bit of rubber. It is working. This is not as firm as it would have been originally. So there you go. That's day I've taken 2 Game Boys that were both not working at all, and we've now been able to play a little bit of Pokemon Yellow on one of them. Now let's see if we can work out why the other one isn't powering up at all. Now, I noticed when I was trying to get the other one to go, there are actually multiple points on the board where they have these little springs, and then they just go down and touch onto various points, these solder points on the board. So I'm wondering if it's just a case that some of those are a little bit dirty, need a bit of a clean up. We can't see any signs of any real major damage to the board. So I think first things first, obviously we know this isn't very good rubber, but just for test purposes, we should put that into this shell. And obviously this Game Boy isn't going to be finished in this video because we haven't ordered the screen or anything yet. But it'd just be interesting to see if we can get the physical console running again, which will then confirm that all we need to do is obviously replace that rubber for the buttons. We'll get a new button kit and obviously a new screen. Let's get these 10 screws back in for the front. Then we'll reconnect the front and the back halves of the console. Put some batteries in it. And we do know that connection does stop the Game Boy powering at all, because that's what we had with the other one, and I just had to reseat it all again. So I'm hoping that that's all the issue is with this one. And hopefully this one will then fire up into life as well. I've got no sign of any bulging caps that I can see, which is always a good sign. So put that front panel connector back in. I just heard that click into the right place. Last screw going back into it now. Let's get some batteries. Then what do we reckon, guys? You reckon this is going to fire up into life? Or do we need to revisit this one in a bit more? No, it looks like we might need to visit this one in a bit more detail later on. We're still getting nothing. No battery showing up at all. No power light whatsoever. We know the batteries are good. We know that screen does at least do something. The front panel does do something, because that was on the other Game Boy. Let's have a quick look at this base and see if we can spot anything untoward. Okay. So there's just two screws that I can see holding this board in. Yep. I can't see any broken components. But there is a bit of corrosion on one of the terminals. Quite a bit of corrosion on one of those terminals. So I reckon let's order a fiberglass pen in and give those terminals a clean up, and then let's see if we actually get. In fact, what we can do, we can verify if that my thinking is correct. Go grab a multimeter. Okay, guys, I'm back with a multimeter. So what we're going to do is put the 4 batteries in. Then we should be able to meter across the terminals and see if we're getting good contact through. Yeah, so I want this on voltage DC. So yeah, we are getting about 4 volts. Polarity is inverted because I've got the probes around the wrong way around, but as you can see there, we're getting 4.02 volts. So voltage is getting through. We're just not getting any signs of life. Absolutely no sign of life on that. Whatsoever. Okay, I think I'm going to need to see if I can find some sort of service manual for this. So I think we shall. There. Is that some sort of link there that's broken? No, that wasn't it. Okay, we've managed to get one of the two Game Boys working. Obviously, this needed a new screen as well anyway. So let's revisit this one another week. We've got one known working Game Boy DMG, and we've got this one that we're going to be fixing up. Join us next time. Bye for now.